Hey, it's Dr. Darren Schmidt at the Nutritional Healing Center of Ann Arbor. And it's been 2.5 years now since I figured out that lactic acidosis is the mechanism of chronic disease. Here's a playlist about it. I've made 32 videos now, 33 videos about this. And I've been trying to disprove that. So that's what a good researcher does, is you have a theory and you try to make it wrong. And so I have not been successful at that yet. And I think I want to stop. And here's why. Because last week I was at this keto conference in Columbus, and I met two people that I'd seen on YouTube and seen their videos. Now, Tim Noakes is one of them. He's a professor, exercise nutritionist, exercise physiology in South Africa. And he was the first guy to create a sugar goo that people could eat while running a marathon, for example. He called it the squeezy. And there's been a lot of brands that came from his ideas. And then later in his career, he learned that keeping your blood sugar up is not ideal. You want to switch into ketosis. Anyways, I told him lactic acidosis is the mechanism of chronic disease. Now, he knew what lactic acidosis is. He knows it. And he said to me that muscle physiology is healthcare. He said that when the muscles are working well, then the rest of the body will be working well. That's something I've been saying too for 2.5 years, because why would the muscles not work very well? It's because of dirty blood. That's lactic acidosis. So anyways, at this end of the spectrum of life, optimal athletic health, Tim Noakes and I had some agreement that lactic acidosis is part of the mechanism, or is the mechanism of chronic disease. There's others, but it's the main one for sure with our current diet. And then on the other end, we have cachexia. That's how people die after a heart attack or after they get diagnosis of cancer. And there's a guy named Andrew Coots. I've seen him on YouTube, and he was at the conference. And he's coming out of the conference room, and there I am standing in the hallway, and I stopped him and I said, "Hey, I've seen you on YouTube. I believe you talk about cachexia, don't you?" And he said, "Yeah." So cachexia is the lactic acid cycle. And I said to him, lactic acidosis is the mechanism of chronic disease. And he said, "You are the first person to ever tell me that." So he knew that from before. And so here I have another professional that agrees with me. And so from optimal health to death, and I'm in the middle here. I'm trying to keep you away from here. And you're not necessarily an optimal athlete, but you're somewhere in the middle. And so we got this guy and me and this guy all saying that lactic acidosis is the mechanism of chronic disease. Okay, so I'm done. And I know it. And I've been trying to disprove it for 2.5 years. I've been unsuccessful. I'm going to keep running with this for the rest of my career unless somebody steps in and says, "Hey, here's the proof." All right, I needed to get that off my chest, and now you have it. And that's it. All right, if you like this, give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, hit the bell.